What's up, Vape fam? Today we're taking a look at a new tank from Vaperz Cloud, the VCST, the Vaperz Cloud Simple Tank. This tank is different. There are a lot of little features to it that you're going to want to see, you're going to want to check out before you decide whether or not you want to buy it. A lot of them are going to come right now in the breakdown as we go up close for the breakdown to see what makes it vape. Alright, here we are up close with the VCST from Vaperz Cloud. This is the packaging it comes in. On one side you're going to have your contents, on the back your barcode, a little bit of logo, and on the side it's going to tell you your features: 25mm, hybrid safe, 4 milliliter capacity, and from there you're just going to lift the top off like so. Your tank is sitting right here. There is a little cutout in the top there for the tip to fit into. I'm going to set that aside for a moment. This bottom does come out. This is where all the little extras are. You get this nice little Allen key tool. It is actually a lot better than your standard screwdrivers because you can get a little socket, fit it on there, a little wrench, whatever, if you need a little extra. But you can just get a nice grip on it with your fingers, twist it. You have your extra piece of glass, little Vaperz Cloud vape band, and a little bag of goodies, extra O-rings, extra post screws, so on and so forth. We'll set that aside. Your extra piece of glass, like I said. And we're going to look at the tank. Now the tank has a lot going on, so this is going to take a minute here. First and foremost, you probably noticed that the tank is a 25mm tank as it sits on the side of the box, and that chimney is huge. The chimney is massive. It runs the whole length. It is the same diameter as the tip. The tip does come out, but this is a proprietary tip. You need this tip on this tank because this tip closes off the juice fill hole here in the chimney. See it down there? When the tip is in, see the hole? Like so, it closes that off. So you pull the tip out to fill it. Right down in through the chimney, right through that hole. If you remove the top cap, you'll see why. You're not going to fit anything in there. There is a hair's gap between this chimney and the glass itself. So the only way to fill it is via that or via the bottom, which I will show you in a moment. That is another really convenient way to do it. With the top cap off, you can just go ahead and pull the glass right off. The O-rings are tight. I recommend, honestly, you juice it up before you pull the glass on or off, because I have pulled mine down a little bit playing with this without juice on it. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. The bottom deck. Bottom deck has this little lock feature. There's a little color tab right there on the bottom, and your little unlock symbol. As long as that is aligned, the deck will just pull out. Now, it won't pull out easy, not at first, because the O-rings are, again, really tight, but it will pull out. And this is the other way you can fill it. Because even with the tank reassembled, I'm going to have to put the glass back on, and there it goes, pulling that O-ring. Even with the tank reassembled, put the top cap on, put the tip back in, like so. With it reassembled and that juice hole closed off, I pulled the gasket down. You have access through these ports here to your juice flow without draining the tank. So you can just fill them up through there if that is more convenient for you. I'm going to pull this glass back off. I'm just going to set it back aside, and when I reassemble everything, then I will put a little juice on that O-ring. Otherwise I'm going to end up probably tearing it. There it goes. Now the deck. The deck has this nice big O-ring down here at the bottom. It is bottom airflow styled like a Kennedy. It does come up through these two holes. I'm trying to see if I can figure out a way to get an angle on this. There are two holes way in the back there that come up through these two little tubes. it's probably too far down in there for you to see it, so I apologize for that. As you can see, the 510 pin does protrude quite a bit, and you have Vaperz Cloud and your serial number on the bottom. It is a velocity style deck. Post holes are elongated, so they are a little bit longer than they are tall. Good for some big builds. You shouldn't have too much issue. Series builds are going to be a little bit tight in here because the deck is a little bit smaller than like the VCMT and so on and so forth. But you can fit a decent build in here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a set of fuse Claptons in here, get the hotspots out, and we will go from there with wicking, because the wicking is kind of unique, as you can probably guess from these cutouts. So let me throw those fuse Claptons in here, get them worked up, and then we'll go over the wicking. Alright guys, the coils are in. I've got it turned down a little bit at 65 watts. So they're taking a second to heat up. We're going to go ahead and wick it with the cotton candy collection once again, because this is the cotton I use all the time. Cut a piece off. Now, the wicking for this is actually much more simple than you're probably thinking by looking at it. You have these 4 cutouts, X-shaped, around the deck, right, for the juice to flow through. But you're going to wick it more like an RDA. So you're going to take the cotton, twist up the end, now because somebody's going to ask, these are fuse Claptons 2632, Kanthal in the center, and Ni90 on the outside. 5 wrap, ends up at 0.12. I was guesstimating about 0.15, but it varies sometimes, especially with the Ni90. It likes to try and jump across that a lot. We'll just do the other side, and then I'll show you how this is done. So we will push the cotton through. Get it pretty snug. Cut it shorter. Now, all you're going to do to wick this, like I said, it's probably easier than you're guessing. Tuck it down in like an RDA. That's it. Do it on all 4 sides. There's more cotton than I need on this side. I'm going to cut a little bit more off. And tuck it down in like an RDA. Just like that. That's it. Super easy. That's why it's called the VCST, the Vaperz Cloud Simple Tank. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll wet this up. What do I have over here? Nothing. So give me 1 second. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put some red cap Irish Lass on there. This is like a strawberry custard with Irish cream. Red Cap was nice enough to give me a code if anybody wants it. If you use Havok, H-A-V-O-K, on their website you will get 20% off your order. So check that out. That was pretty cool of them to do. So it's available to any of you. Feel free to use it. So let's just get these wet. Heat it up a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be more like a 100-watt kind of vape. Let's turn her up. 106. There it goes. I like to run a little bit of juice through them, then re-soak them. Just like that. Alright, and then we will begin reassembly. That was the extra piece of glass. So, what am I doing? So, the chimney section goes on first. Now, to set them on, to put it on, you're going to find these two cutouts right here and right here. These correspond to the two little pieces that protrude on the side of the deck down here. See them? It needs to fit over that, so make sure you get it in the right orientation. You look real close. And then you just press it down over them. That's it. And you can lock the deck into place by pushing down and spinning. Line up the cotton like so. This does not come off now, which is what you want. It's also how you control your juice flow. Close them off. Open them up. After that will be the piece of glass, which I'm going to take just a little bit of juice on my finger like so. I'm going to run it around these O-rings like this. This way they won't bind, won't stick. There we go. Glass goes right down over, nice and easy. Then we're going to put the top cap on. Which just screws right on like so. And I just spun everything again. Awesome. There we go. And now that we have the tip out, go ahead and fill her up. You can see it running down the side there. Just a little for now is fine, and then we will just put the tip back in, like so, to seal the whole thing. And there you have it, built and wicked, running at 106 watts. So with that, let's go back up, we'll talk about it a little bit, and we will vape on it. Alright guys, that was the up close and breakdown with the VCST from Vaperz Cloud. So this tank, there are some really interesting little characteristics to it. The way you wick it is actually really simple to do. Like I said, you just kind of tuck it in there like a dripper and it wicks fine. I haven't had any issues with it. I do want to spend a little bit more time with this, and if there are any other problems, if there's anything like with the VCMT, I will update you guys on it. The VCMT, a lot of people had some issues with it. A lot of people didn't, but I haven't seen any issues with this one. The airflow takes a little bit of getting used to because it is such a wide bore airflow all the way through on this tank. This is definitely a cloud chucking tank. It really is. The build in here is built for flavor, and I'm still getting really dense, thick, big billowing clouds out of it. For some people, there's going to be a con that you can't use your own drip tip. I understand that. Some people have drip tips they really like, and with this one, especially because it seals off that fill port, you're really kind of obligated to use this tip. I don't have any problems with it, but if you don't like these big wide bore drip tips, you're going to have a little bit of an issue there. Filling from the bottom, not really a problem. Filling from the side can be a little bit of a pain, depending on how you do it, depending on how your dripper needle is or your bottle. I just kind of angle it and kind of point it down through and squeeze it in, and it works fine. You're only ever going to get to fill it up to the bottom of that hole, probably. You're not going to get it filled all the way up unless you fill from the bottom. Heat dissipation is really not bad on it either. You don't have a deck the size of the deck in the 30mm VCMT, and that's okay. You can still fit some decent builds in here. Again, it's not massive, but it works really well. Simpler to use by far than the VCMT, so wicking, you're pretty much going to hit it in one shot. As long as you have enough cotton and you tuck it in there, it's going to work flawlessly the first time. Hybrid compatible, not a problem. The 510 pin sticks out enough that even I would recommend it, and I'm pretty picky about it. You have juice flow control by twisting the top of the tank. You just got to be careful because that is also your lock-unlock function. You just got to make sure these colored pieces down here don't line up with the unlock symbol, or that means you could pull the tank off of the bottom deck. Otherwise, you can adjust it per taste. Close it off a little bit, open it all the way up. I've got it all the way open right now. Other than that, it's really, really convenient, easy to use RTA, guys. Like I said, again, the wicking. They made it so simple. So simple. The filling is a little bit more complicated than a lot of the other ones where you just unscrew the top and squeeze it right down in. But it hasn't been bad. It just takes a little bit of adjustment. Again, the cloud, the vapor output, fantastic. The flavor is pretty good. It's definitely more of a cloud chucking tank, but the flavor is still well above the average. I really don't have much bad to say about it. I really don't. The machining was really good. Other than that O-ring will stick if you're trying to slide the glass down across it, like I showed you in the breakdown. If you're pushing the glass across that O-ring, because it is a really tight seal on there, you may pull or rip that O-ring. So put a little bit of juice on it before you slide the glass on or off. That way you don't damage your O-rings. That's usually pretty true for most tanks, but it's doubly true here where you have this really, really compressed tight fit and that small clear silicone O-ring. So be careful there. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to have many issues. You can actually pull this airflow ring off of the bottom deck, and if you do, there's a tiny little metal pin in there. That little metal pin sits in one of the, there's a little groove cut into it, and it sits there so that the airflow ring only goes so far. It stops it. There's a little cutout in the airflow ring. If you take that out, the airflow ring will spin all the way around. So if you have an issue where your airflow ring spins all the way around, and now it's coming loose on my tank. There we go. If the airflow ring spins all the way around, you probably lost that little metal piece. It will still function perfectly fine. It will just spin loosely on there. I don't know how else to replace it. Maybe they'll sell replacements for it. I don't know. I believe I picked this up for 55 bucks. It's not even on sale yet, so I don't know the exact sale price, but I'm guessing it's going to be in the ballpark of 55. It's definitely worth a try if you're getting into the RTA scene. If you're already there, definitely pick it up. It's a great cloud chucking tank. It just, again, it performs. It really does. If you're new to it, this might be a good one for you because it is a really, really simple, easy to wick tank. And that has been a lot of people, when they start in the RTAs, a lot of people find one that they really like, but then they have issues wicking it, and then it leaks on them, or then they get a lot of dry hits, or they just don't get good flavor out of it because they're overpacking the cotton. This one's really simple. You just tuck it down in there like an RDA, and you're good to go. So if you can wick an RDA, you can wick this thing. Again, I will probably have more updates with this tank as time goes on, because I do want to spend more time with it, and I will be spending a lot of time with it because I really am enjoying it. This gives you more of a first look at it, the breakdown, how it works, you know, builds, wicks, all that kind of information. So I hope you found this video helpful, guys. Like, subscribe, it helps me out. If you have any questions, comments, anything I didn't address, leave it in the comments down below, and I will try my best to get to it. Hope to see you guys again soon. Till next time, suck, blow, and keep on vaping.